Hey, welcome to Campground Ventures. This is Ed and Mike. We're here at Campground Ventures. We like to do these reviews of campgrounds that are for sale. This Sundance High Plains RV Park campground is in Lamar, Colorado. If you're not familiar with Lamar, let's take a quick look and we'll put the map up for you later. We're talking southeast Colorado next to Kansas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. So right here in Lamar. We're going to take a look at, when we do these reviews, what we find important is we walk through kind of the same process. It's nothing rocket science, but here's our process. We're going to look at their financials. We're going to analyze their deal against kind of an industry standard. We're going to say, what's the cap rate? How are their expenses to their income ratio? We're going to look at their marketing, the current marketing that's available for the campground. We have suggestions always of what we think marketing should look like. So if you're contemplating selling, we might meet with you a year in advance, 6 months in advance, something, and say, hey, for your campground marketing, let's do this. So that when it hits the web as a for sale property, the marketing looks great. We'll review theirs. And then we're going to look at the area. What other campgrounds are available? What's the community like? Those kinds of things. So Ed's going to kick us off with the financials.
Perfect. So guys, this campground is called Sundance High Plains RV Park, okay? This park, to give you a couple details of it, it's actually, as you can see on some of the pictures, there's 22 RV spots. There's 6 cabins. There's actually an owner's apartment as well included. They've got an outdoor area. They've got a laundromat. They're located in an opportunity zone. So for you guys doing 1031s, I won't go into detail what that is, but it could be a valuable component when you go to sell the property. What I like to look at for you guys on this is to break down the financials, okay? We're going to be reaching out to the agent in this case, asking for those financials. Now, we know that these financials are just a starting point because sometimes the financials, as you look through these, they're not everything in there. I also want to look at the tax returns because just because you get financials does not necessarily mean that tax return is going to match this, okay? So ideally, we want to see that, okay? As we look at the PowerPoint and as we go through the financials for last year, what I like to look at is just a quick analysis of what this property actually can make us, right? Because that's the meat and potatoes of this. One thing on the financials, guys, that was not listed, the property taxes and the insurance was not listed on the financials. So when we go into my analysis of this property, the asking price is $900,000. I looked at it, $900,000, I said 20% down, okay? I talked to a couple local banks here in the area that will actually finance this property for us. They're quoting me a rate of 6.6% today on interest rate, okay? We're taking this over basically a 24-year period, okay? That's negotiable. This is just to give you an idea of what you're looking at, okay? 20% down with closing costs of about $15,000. You've got to come to the table with $195,000 to buy this property, okay? Now, could you put this under contract and go get some family or get some other partners going? Yes, you could, but we need to come up with $195,000, okay? When I break down this deal, I like to look at it on a monthly basis. I took the 2023 financials because those are the most current, obviously. Right now, they're looking at projecting about $186,000 a year for this property, okay? When I take out the expenses, Mike, we show $83,700 in expenses. Now, guys, that is including taxes and insurance, okay? After that's all said and done, after paying out our debt, that leaves us with about little over $42,000 in income. Now, some interesting components when I looked at these financials, guys, is they had a manager they were paying last year about $26,000 a year. So they were getting free housing, plus they made about $26,000 a year, okay? Their expenses were higher in 2022 of $109,000 versus my $83,000, okay? So that's a decision you have to understand how do you make that. When we look at our 2023, the year-to-date payroll is at about $10,000, okay? So all things we look at, all things that we're going to consult you on as an owner of like what we think is best there. When I analyze that cap rate, guys, I have a valuation at 10% of a little over $1 million. So $1,023,000 is what I show at a 10% cap rate. They're at $900,000 with their cap rate. And so again, we're in the ballpark. That's what I'm trying to say here, okay? But the bottom line is about $43,000, which you expect to make an income for the year on this property. Okay.
All right. So as we talk, as Ed was talking through that, you get these pictures that kind of show up in your mind, right? You're saying, how does this property actually work? So as an owner, you could be an owner operator. You could slide your purchase price across the table, right? Your portion, take on your debt. Then you could move into the owner's apartment, and you could make roughly $3,500 a month for running this campground. So that's that's just one lifestyle choice you could make. Or you could literally be an out-of-state investor and say, hey, I'd like to own that. I'm going to come stay there when I hunt or fish or go to the sand dunes or whatever my recreation is, and I'm going to hire a manager. Well, when we look through those numbers, when Ed was digging through those numbers, he's like, hey, last year they spent 3 times as much on labor as they are this year. Maybe there was more labor being done. Maybe more activities were being done at the campground. Maybe the same activities and the owner's doing more this year and paying for less. All those management decisions are yours, but those pictures kind of show up and we're like, oh, there's a lot of ways you can use this property and it would sort of function either way, and it's cash flow positive. So a good property for us to review. Some of these, when we review them, are the other way around, right? You're going to lose money continually. You still might want to buy it. There's plenty of people who have income, they want to lose money, so they have a way to reduce their taxable income for next year, or they're simply buying something for the future, or they're going to lose money for a decade while they're building the other part of the campground. Anyway, that's not this one. This one cash flows day one and looks good. So let's take a look at how they've presented their campground out to the world. So here's their website. Sundance High Plains RV Park. At the top, you've got rates, reservations, cabins, camping amenities, activities gallery, about, and contact. The pros of this website, it actually looks really good, and they've done a wonderful job of giving us, how does this campground feel, right? That's when I pull up and it matches, my images match what I'm seeing, it makes me as a traveler very comfortable, right? Like, oh, I'm in the right spot. It feels like I thought it was gonna feel. I know what I'm getting, so that's excellent. One of the things that we see as the website might be lacking, if this was ours or if we were guiding you on selling one, we'd say there's no way for people to book. So part of that is this owner may want people to call them, right? The owner might say, hey, I don't want anybody in my campground unless I've talked to them first. So they're gonna call me on the phone or they're not staying here. That's a decision on how you manage your campground. To generate the best income, we're gonna say, hey, let's get a dynamic website where I can literally go in and I can click on a cabin and I can see a calendar pop up. I can see where the cabin is and I can click it and say, I want that cabin for these 3 days. Then as people start using that website, they can compete with each other for the cabin and we can generate more income for you as an owner. So that's one of the things that we noticed as a possible negative for the way that they've presented their campground.
We also want to bring up the point, guys, that when we call this place, they're open year-round, okay? That, as campground owners ourselves, we want to look for year-round campgrounds. And this campground does offer the year-round component, which is highly effective. Another component on this one, which I kind of like too, was there's currently 11 full-time RVers, okay? They're paying $750 a month, guys. So if we've got 11 full-timers, okay, at $750, we know we've got $8,000 coming in every month that I can guarantee and get no matter what, okay, at $750. That means there's still 11 RV spaces still available and 6 cabins still available, okay? When I look at this pro forma of $186,000 is what they said the income is, a little tweak to the marketing, a little tweak to more recognition and getting ability to bill online, you could easily see yourself between $212,000 to $225,000 as that annual income is just a goal, okay? Because that's all about when you're within a partnership with a team, you're really trying to push how can we get more volume here, okay? Like Mike said, this is a situation where if they were to simply allow people to book online, that is a huge demand that people want. They don't want to, they're going to move on to the next RV park if you don't answer the phone at 10 o'clock at night where they can book out in 4 months and it's done. So just want to add that.
Thank you for that. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so I think what you just said dovetails nicely into the area of the campground. So I don't know if Lamar has a big draw, right? I don't know if there's a big convention in Lamar that a lot of people are bringing their campers to. So most people are going to be traveling. It's in a great location, right? There's a lot of traffic coming through this corner of the state. We border 3 other states, so there's a lot of people moving through, but there's also campgrounds around the area that you could choose as well. So making yours sticky on the web or easy to access from the web is going to increase your traffic. So let's look at the competition real quick. When we look at RV parks in Lamar, I'll click on this one first. We have 3 that we can tell. Looks like 2 of them are maybe under the same owner. We're not exactly positive. One of them has a really cool piece if you're a horse person, which is you can park your horse here, right? That's a cool feature for a campground. Drive in with your horse trailer, board your horses in the stalls that are available. It's horse ready. They're saying, hey, come ride your horse, come exercise your horse, come stretch your horse, water and feed it. And they're set up for that. That's pretty cool. And then there's the Sportsman's Campground. The rates around there, we're talking $480 a month and $35 a day, $700 a month and $49 a day. The campground we're reviewing is $750 a month and $49 a day. So it's asking a little bit more on that monthly, saying, hey, we probably provide a little bit nicer amenity for you guys. And so we're going to ask you to pay a little bit more than these other 2. But they're right in the right market, right? That market, it's not like we're vastly overpriced or underpriced compared to our competition. So that's always good to see.
And the reviews, Mike, remember too, we looked at that and that was really impressive to see. They had 246 reviews running at a 4.5%. So that was an attractive thing to see on the reviews.
Yeah, we read through those reviews, and it's like everything on the web, right? Some reviews are amazing, and some reviews are like really a personal issue that you're projecting onto the campground, and then some of them might have been actionable by the campground to make some repairs, and you never really know on the reviews. But it's good to see a lot of them, yes. And a varied style of review. So that was good to see. I think from our perspective, this is the point of reviewing campgrounds, right? We want to dig in and we want to look at 2nd level, 3rd level detail. We want to look at what would financing it look like if you need to finance it, if you're not just writing a check for it. How would your partnership look? What things does your partnership want as you approach this campground? And this one may not be a fit for you, but you might want to look at it anyway. It's a wonderful process for every buyer and team to look at together. Hey, I want to just see the campground and see what it would look like if we approached it. As you walk through the process with us, we're going to take you through there step by step, and you're going to have a lot of new questions. As you get those questions, this campground may answer them positively or negatively. Wonderful. That points you to the next campground or to this one. And so just approaching it's a great thing to do. Yeah. So if you want to take a 2nd, 3rd level look with us on this campground, reach out. We're happy to do that for you. The listing agent has been excellent to work with. David Fingerhut, been great to work with, providing good information, clear communication. So we'll get answers for you and help you take that 2nd level look.
Yeah, and I would just add, guys, this one's been on the market for 120 days. So there might be negotiations with the price. There might be a seller financing component where maybe we say, hey, we'll buy this, but we want to put no money down and we want you to carry us at 5%. Those are the things we help you negotiate too. So just understand there's more to this that can be unraveled, potentially not doing 20% down if you've got a motivated seller. But again, all things we work through at Campground Adventures, we want to make sure we get you in the best position ever. So
thanks for watching. Yeah. Reach out to us if we can be helpful.
Take care. Have a good day.